was my mom coordinating stuff with her ladies' church group, giving food away for free. Or more importantly, my dad bringing in new Canadians and helping them get set up with a job here so they can bring their families over and get on with their careers. And I really saw this. I was like, oh, that's really cool. You can have a business, you can build a life for yourself, but you can also give back and do good while doing it. So that got me thinking, I wonder if I could do the same. And so finally I was studying in school, and I had the idea. I was always really drawn to clothing. Don't ask me why. I was not the most fashionable guy. My mom still dressed me fine. I was about 25. But I just thought clothing had this unique ability to express our values, right? We all made a decision to get up this morning and dress ourselves. Big round of applause for you guys. It's a big step. But you all made a decision this morning when you woke up and put on what you are wearing, right? And by the way, you all look great. Did you guys see Ryan's cardigan? The blue brings out your eyes, I'm telling you. But we all made a decision, and every morning we make that decision, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, because how we choose to dress ourselves is how we want to be represented, how we want to be perceived in this world. It's representation of our values, what we hold strong. If we're a big hockey fan, we might wear a Flames hat. If we're I don't know, really fancy, we might, And it's a representation of our values. And I think there's something really strong there. And I think there's something there that can really connect us, that can bring people together who share those similar values. Like you walk down the street and see someone with a Flames hat. Hey, you're a Flames fan, I'm a Flames fan. We should be friends, And so I did what any idiot does when they have a crazy idea. So I went on the old Google machine. And I typed in how to start a t-shirt company. And then there was all these books and websites, and I was like, no, it's not for me. So I did what any idiot does when they don't want to read on Google. I went over to YouTube. And I found a YouTube video on how to start your own t-shirt company. And I just went down this rabbit hole. I spent hours and hours. And finally, for the first time in my life, I was like, this is fun, this is exciting. Let's see how far this goes. $50 later, I had my own online t-shirt company. And I was so excited. I was running all the way home to my little Swedish house to my beautiful wife, and I said, babe, I got it. Figured it out. Oil and gas, out the door. Making money, out the door. She's like, well, what are you going to do? And I'm like, clothing. And she's like, Connor, your mom literally just used to buy all your clothes and dress you before we moved to Sweden. What do you know about clothing? I was like, that's the best part. Nothing. And so she's like, well, what are you gonna call it? And I was like, oh. She had just lost the battle with the washing machine again, and there was laundry soaking wet all over it, and she was tired. She was like, oh, great, here comes Connor with another great idea. She said, what are you gonna call it? And I was like, that's even a better part. Calgary Community T-shirts. And she was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I was like, all right, you're so smart. What would you call it? And she was looking at all this laundry everywhere, looking at this washing machine, and she's like, well, you want to be all about local, you want to be about building community, why don't you call it local laundry? And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. That is a fantastic idea. I got down on one knee, asked her to marry me right there. And so I moved back from Sweden, and I started playing around with this, hours in the evening, hours on the weekend, trying to grow this thing, trying to build a clothing company around community. I used to just reach out to people on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram. Hey, what do you think of this? Hearing their stories, getting their feedback, listening to their passion projects. And the more I met with people, the more shirts I sold, the more it fueled this fire inside me to keep going and see how big we can build this community. And what I learned is, how do you actually build a community? Well, it's one authentic relationship at a time. Going out to meet people and say, hey, my name's Connor, this is what I do, tell me your story, what do you do? How can I help you? How can we both get to where we want to go? And this just fueled me, and it just woke up this feeling that I had inside me that I never had, working all those days, making lots of money in oil and gas. And I was just a man on fire. And so I started building this thing, and I came back to Calgary. I worked, as Ryan alluded to in tech as well. I worked at a tech company in sales. And I'll be honest, I wasn't very good at it. And I remember the day I actually, part of my community, meeting all these people, I gathered a little group of mentors around me, and Ryan was actually one of them. And I remember coming to Ryan one day, obviously super successful guy. Anyone see the watch that he wears? This guy made it. He knows what he's talking about. And I went up to him and I said, Ryan, I'm kind of in a dilemma here. I tried the oil and gas thing, didn't like it.